Competition is a good thing. Not the kind that makes us bitter, the kind that makes us better. So we're proud to support Connacht, Leinster, Munster and Ulster Rugby. While most folks share for one, we support all 4 provinces. Because we live and work in all 4. And round here, competition is a good friend. It fuels us, connects us, pushes us past whatever stands in our way. And when we fall on the pitch or off it, it picks us up and reminds us, once you begin, you must never stop competing.
I remember playing New Ross once. One that stands out, I remember playing New Ross, and I didn't know Tyke Furlong at the time, but it turned out it was him playing, because I just remember I remember talking to him about it. I was like, there was 2 really big guys on the team, and it was him and one of the other guys on the team, on his team. So it had to have been him. And I remember, gosh, it must have been 8 or 9 at the time. And I remember it was like open field, and the 2 big lads. You always, when you're that age, you always remember like the big guys, because the big guys on the team. The 2 of them were like, I don't know how it ended up happening, but obviously it's the nature of underage rugby. The 2 of them were kind of at fullback, so there was like a gap. The try line was in the middle, and the 2 of them were either side. And I tried to sprint straight for the middle. I thought I'd make it, and I got sandwiched between them, 2 of them.
The main thing is it's so important to have role models for these children to look up to, and I think that's something we've done really, really well here in Wicklow. I mean, we have, I think, over 200 girls playing now in the youth section, which is absolutely fantastic, and I think that's kind of how important the sustainability of it is. I mean, to have long-term success for our women's team, we have to have players feeding in. I mean, we're not a Dublin club. We don't kind of have the ability to almost rely on colleges kind of feeding us players, and I think that's something that's been realised here in Wicklow for a long, long time. I mean, Ronan Griffey, I think we actually had a players meeting at the start of the year just to share kind of why we play, and I think 80% of the women said that Ronan Griffey was the reason why they kind of started rugby. So I think it's people like him that have kind of invested so much of their time and realised that kind of long-term success of a team comes from grassroots.
That's an imprint that Wicklow has had on us and our family. It's even though the little ones, like when they came here, they were 1, but Wicklow is just, they love Wicklow. So it's just something. It's the people here, the support for everything is just incredible. And I knew that's rugby, but this is something else.
Oh, well done, well done. Okay, Julie, you come over here with me. Now, we're here in St. Joseph's Community Centre in Wexford Town for our 3rd week of our walk and rugby programme. A modified version of rugby that we can use for players of all abilities, ages. It's in partnership with Sports Active Wexford and Wexford County Council.
Sports Active Wexford, we support a number of groups, and we work with loads of different national governing bodies. One of which today we're working with Leinster Rugby, and we're doing walk and rugby, and it's absolutely fantastic.
So they're for players and people of all abilities, so both all ages, mental and physical disabilities. We want to keep these players and people active as much as we possibly can, but more than anything today really it's about the social aspect and the fun aspect.
So it's great to have Leinster Rugby involved with the walk and rugby. They provide all the skills and the expertise to the guys, and as well with walk and rugby, it's just so inclusive. Everybody here is having so much fun today, and it's a great social aspect for them. All the groups get to mix in together, which they wouldn't usually do during their typical day.
The beauty of walk and rugby is we can change and modify the rules depending on the group we have. So you can see here today we're not really looking at forward passes too much, we just want them to play. So as long as they're moving into space and putting the ball into space, we're happy. And if you can score a try, happy days. If it just means crossing the line, doesn't matter. So as long as everyone's having fun and scoring tries, it doesn't matter.
Oh, well done. Well done, great try.
Every Everyone is competing with something, and that's okay. Competition is a good thing. Not the kind that makes us bitter, the kind that makes us better. So we're proud to support Connacht, Leinster, Munster and Ulster Rugby. While most folks share for one, we support all 4 provinces. Because we live and work in all 4. And round here, competition is a good friend. It fuels us, connects us, pushes us past whatever stands in our way. And when we fall on the pitch or off it, it picks us up and reminds us, once you begin, you must never stop competing.
Welcome here to Energy Park for this Bank of Ireland Leinster Schools Cup clash between St. Vincents, Castleknock College and CBC Monkstown. This is the last day of first round fixtures. Michael's, Blackrock, Newbridge, Clongowes and St. Mary's all winning earlier in the week. There is 2 other games taking place today. Gonzaga face St. Andrews in Castle Avenue and Ciaron College Roscrea taking on CUS in Lakelands Park. My name is Ciaron Noble and I'm delighted to say joining me in commentary today is independent rugby writer Cian Tracey. How are you?
All good, Ciaron. Looking forward to this. Crowd are packed in already, and as usual the schools are making plenty of noise. The Monkstown crowd bringing plenty of colour as well, so it's all set up to be a cracking occasion.
And are you looking forward to the game?
Yeah, I mean, I've been really impressed with the quality of rugby, I think, all week from the schools. It's no surprise, really, when you look at the talent that's come out of schools rugby over the last few years into the Irish under-20 setup, and this year has clearly been no different, particularly at the early stages of the competition where, you know, normally it takes a bit of time for teams to find their feet, but I think the skill level has been so impressive, and that's a credit to the coaches, I think, as much as the players.
Now let's go through the teams. Castleknock have a powerful pack. Conor Boyle and Wally Quadra are a formidable second row partnership. Their powerful co-captain Danny Ruan is at number 8, loves to carry. Sam Wizenowski is in the centre with co-captain Peter McIntyre. They're a solid centre partnership in the middle of the park. CBC are back in the Senior Cup after a 3-year absence. Warren Balmain and Captain Thomas Chadwick and Charlie Marr, their number 8, magnify the team spirit in the forwards. The exciting back three of Carl Trainer Russell, Sam Graney and Danny Clean can light up the attack given half the chance. The referee today is Glenn Sheridan. Both crowds are very, very loud, very active already. Great atmosphere.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's nothing what you don't come to expect from schools rugby. And yeah, like, it's a great opportunity for Monkstown. You have to say they're probably the underdogs, but a great opportunity to upset the odds here. The pressure's probably on Castleknock a little bit in that sense. You know, the expectation is for them to come out and, you know, win. I think you were saying they played in the league earlier this season, and you know how much of impact will that have. But as we've seen over the years, it all comes down to on the day in which, you know, like, we've got to remember these are young players. Nerves are going to play a factor in it. But let's see if Monkstown can start positively early and maybe cause an upset.
Yeah, well, that game was at the very start of the league. I should mention it was 31-7 that day to Castleknock. So who knows? A lot could have happened between then and now. So CBC will be hoping for an upset.
Interrupting their last few movements, so a bit of psychology, I should say, going on there early doors.
CBC's only cup win came in 1976, and the team they beat that day was actually Castleknock, and the scoreline was 3-0, a very, very low scoring game.
We're definitely going to hope for a few more scores than that now today.
Castleknock 8 times champions of the Leinster Schools Senior Cup. The last one coming all the way back in 1965. They did make it to the semi-final a few years ago in 2020, where they were eventually knocked out by Clongowes Wood College.
We're seen more of the mind games here, aren't we? Monkstown are making Castleknock wait. Castleknock are all set up and ready to go, and you like to see a bit of that, don't you? Thinking outside the box, try and get in the heads of the opposition early on, but we'll see if it can pay off now once the game gets going.
I love a bit of mental warfare.
You gotta love it, especially at schools level.
Well, it's a big day for all the lads, a big day in Donnybrook. For a lot of them, it's their last pads.
Yeah, and it's a big day for the whole school, for teachers, for parents, for even pupils who aren't playing here today. It's always a massive occasion, Senior Cup, Junior Cup, and this is going to be no different, hopefully.
It's Ross O'Connor to get us underway for Castleknock. CBC look to take it in early. The ball's bouncing all over the place, and Castleknock managed to gather it. And they've got an early penalty. Brilliant start for Castleknock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they won back their own restart. Positive stuff. I think CBC, Monkstown will be a little bit disappointed with how they dealt with that restart, but it's a big chance now for Castleknock to get some early territory deep into the Monkstown 22.
Sam Wisanowski taking the kick. He's played a lot of 10 this season in the league. So he's a very versatile player, kind of like Owen Farrell, can play 12, can play 10.
Yeah, that's a big comparison. If he's half as good as Owen Farrell was at that age, he's going to be some player.
It's going to be Max Lavelle to throw the ball in for Castleknock. And the big second row, Quadra gets up for it. But that one didn't go to plan, and it's a scrum for CBC.
Yeah, a bit of a let-off there. The line-out wasn't thrown in straight, so Monkstown will get a bit of a reprieve here. So first scrum of the game this early on. It's a chance to lay down for both sides to lay down a marker.
How important do you think the opening 5-10 minutes is in these sort of skills games?
Absolutely, like we touched on it there at the start. Nerves are going to play such a key part, no matter what it is, let alone in a Senior Cup for these young players. So I think we've seen it throughout the games this week. Whichever team handles the nerves early on tended to go on and have a better game overall, I think.
Fitzsimons Nolan with the crash ball. Hanlon. Go to the exit. Here comes the Castleknock fullback, Elliott. Getting his first little run of the game. Number 7 is next, Lennon. Castleknock looking to play here. Atkins Haggart. He's left winger, but that's dealt with well by the CBC Monkstown defence. The little scrum half tries to go through the little half gap, but the door is closed pretty quickly on him. Castleknock taking it up the middle, asking some early questions of that CBC defence, and a penalty straight out in front. You think they might go for the post here?
Yeah, I think they're actually going to go back here more to the side. It's a little bit of a difficult angle. I think Sam Graney did really well initially to make the tackle out wide, but the winger was just pinged then for not rolling away. So got to paint better pictures for the referee. You know, we've talked about how important it is to make the positive start, and painting good pictures for the referee is really important to that.
Well, I was wrong. They've gone for touch. And I'm a big lover of them all, Troy. Could we see one early on?
Yeah, that's a big psychological advantage if you can get one of them over on your team, over on the opposition early on as well.
Lavelle. The set piece is key in every game. Skills, pro.
And there is a bit of a breeze here as well, which will affect the hooker's throw, so no surprise he didn't go to the front.
Straight to the front. No messing around, nice and quick. It's moving forward, and they're over for the score. And it looks like it's their number 8 and co-captain Danny Ruan.
Really clever set piece there. Well, I just mentioned the wind being a factor, and I was at one of the games earlier this week, and there was a lot of line-out issues, but they go to the front, really well taken. No, there wasn't even a need for a lift. They set up the maul brilliantly, and there was Danny Ruan at the back, like all good number 8s, brilliantly controlled and finishing really well.
Castleknock have opted to go for 2 captains this season. Danny Ruan at number 8 and the number 13, Peter McIntaggart.
Nice to share the responsibility.
Yesterday we saw a hooker taking the kicks. And today we're seeing a number 8.
I love seeing a forward take place kicks, but Danny Ryan will definitely be confident after getting that try.
Looking for the full 7 now. Strikes it, but it looks like it's just going to veer away.
Unlucky there, he actually struck it really, really well. The wind maybe played a factor there too, but a really positive start from Castleknock. It's not obviously what CBC Monkstown wanted. They need to get down here now, get a bit of territory and settle the early nerves.
A lot has been made about CBC's number 8, Charlie Marr. Apparently he's on the Leinster radar. They've got an exciting back 3 as well, as I mentioned at the start. Castleknock claimed that one through Quadra. They go to the booth of Wisniewski. And here comes Marr. Hungry to make the big carry. Contesting at the ruck there from Castleknock, putting pressure on CBC.
Superb clear out there from Rory Balmain. Superb.
CBC looking for width on the ball. The full back. Castleknock, Billy Dowling making a good hit there. Mahan puts it up in the air and he finds touch.
Yeah, it's good defence there from Castleknock. I think it was Conor Boyle made a really big tackle. Looked like he picked up a bit of a knock. He's down getting treatment at the moment, but it was a superb hit on Danny Ruan, who had a big run up after the clearing kick, but solid defence from Castleknock.
Conor Boyle, a very versatile forward, plays a lot in the back row also in the league. He's played at 6 and 7 this season.
Yeah, he showed his athleticism there for sure now, but hopefully he can shake off this knock. I think it's his shoulder, it could be maybe a bit of a stinger maybe, but it was definitely a really important tackle from his side. Thankfully he looks okay to continue.
None of these youngsters will want to go off
no,
on a day like
I think he'll
today.
have to drag them off kicking and screaming like it's such a special occasion, like you mentioned, and this is what you've worked hard for all year, you know. These are the big days you want to be involved in.
It's volley Quadra again. Another line out. Quadra seems to be the main man, the main line out option for Castleknock.
Yeah, he's had a couple of early involvements here. He looks good. He's a tall kid as well, so here he is running the ball.
CBC try and get in and disrupt that one, but it looks like Castleknock have free gathered. The referee says knock on.
Yeah, that's a little win for Monkstown. This is what they need, you know. They've had a tricky enough start, but getting those little wins by forcing the errors from a Castleknock point of view, and that's exactly what they did there. They got up. We spoke about Quajad. Monkstown got up and they competed with the line out and forced him into making the error. So another big opportunity here from the scrum.
Little set play off this, something that they've practiced in the training ground.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with some of the set plays I've seen already this week, so fingers crossed.
They take it up to the left winger, Graney. Or Cal Trainer Russell, sorry. And here is Graney. He kicks it forward. Elliott tries to get back there. He doesn't take it. Elliott will be relaxed.
Yeah, it's a really clever play though. You talked about a bit of a strike move. They got their left winger make a big carry in the middle of the park and then moved it across to the opposite side to the right winger, Sam Graney, who did really clever kick in behind, but a bit of a let off by conceding a penalty there.
Elliott was leaving it to the gods though. He didn't take it. He was letting it bounce all over the shop.
Yeah, you like a little bit of more assuredness from your back three there, but maybe that's an area that Monkstown have identified, and it was certainly a very clever kick, so we might see more of that as the game progresses.
Do you think Castleknock are going to look straight for the exit here?
Yeah,
or take it up one or two phases?
They're just about outside their own 22 though, so that makes a bit of a difference in terms of the clearing kick here.
And a big passion for CBC Monkstown.
Yeah, another big win, and these little wins are adding up for Monkstown now, and now they get the opportunity to put the ball deep into the Castleknock 22, so they'll have a really good opportunity here. We've already seen Castleknock score from a maul, so what do Monkstown have up their sleeve in terms of the maul?
What went wrong with that lineup?
Yeah, it was just sloppy really. I think they were penalised from joining the maul from in at the side, so we talk all the time at every single level, no matter what it is, about painting good pictures for the referee, and the referee's been hot on the whistle early on here, so it's up to both teams to adapt to that.
Lewin Maloney throw this one in. He's got two very solid second rows in Balmain and Chadwick. It's the number 8 who takes it. Ciaron Noble. CBC Monkstown will fall straight away and get the throw.
Yeah, superb. We've already seen it. Charlie Marr make a really good carry there early on, and we see his power in full flow there. We're just looking at the line out again. It looked like Castleknock had stolen it, but it bounced favourably at the back. That is a superb carry from Charlie Marr. Would never going to be stopped from there. Brilliant response, you'd have to say, by CBC Monkstown.
When he took that ball earlier on, I was thinking of Billy Vunipola.
Yeah, he's certainly very powerful. We've seen both number 8s, haven't we, now in the score sheet, and it's great to see that sort of power at this level. They look really, really well conditioned.
Challenging kick for Mahan. We're level at 5-5.
Yeah, again, he struck it well, but didn't quite have the accuracy. But like, what a start we've had here. We're only 11 minutes into the game, 5 apiece, and it's been a really really even, you'd have to say, opening to this game. Both teams still trying to feel their way into it, but it's been really impressive.
I feel like the Cup is different though to the league. You can't really go off league results. The Cup is a totally different kettle of fish, and even the atmosphere is different. The feeling of the players is different. It means a lot more. Yeah,
like I said, everything is building towards the Cup. It's the league is usually a warm-up. I know it's great to win it and all, but it does all come down to the Cup. Everyone wants to make it to that final.
Castleknock on halfway here, looking to make those carries, break the gain line. Back in Taggart. Fullback Elliott. See Castleknock looking for a bit of urgency here. CBC Monkstown got a penalty, and it looks like it was Adam Fitzsimmons that got in over that ball.
Yeah, the Castleknock forward showing some lovely handling in midfield. A couple of beautiful tip-on passes, one from Quaja, but again, just a little bit sloppy at that ruck there. But to get in the jackal position was superb, as you said. Adam Fitzsimmons, Nolan, just great body strength to put yourself in that position like that, and he wins a crucial turnover penalty for his side.
They're the little moments that could turn into big moments.
Yeah, and Monkstown have had plenty of those, like we said, and they're really building up. And you know, when Castleknock made that fast start, we called for Monkstown to show a bit of kind of cool, calm and collected heads, and that's certainly what they've done.
Goes to the captain, Chadwick. CBC Monkstown probing, looking to get into that 22. Big hit there from the Castleknock defence. Mahan. Quaja tries to take him down. I don't know what he threw there, but the scrum half with a little smart kick in behind. Elliott tidies it up, using his feet to good effect to get him out of trouble. Referee signaling for a penalty. maybe just a little bit too excited in the tackle there.
Yeah, slightly high. I think he might just get it talking to this early on, but certainly the referee is going to want to make sure that we don't see any of those kind of high tackles in the game. But he's going to give him a yellow card. Yeah, so it's a tough blow for CBC Monkstown. Liam Quicken, is it? It's a big period now. They're going to have to react. I thought he might have given him a warning this early on, but obviously the referee felt it was deemed to be a yellow card. So CBC are going to have to deal with that now, down to 14 players.
Tackle safety is a big thing all across rugby now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You can't take any chances at all with it. If the referee deemed that it was high enough, then he's got to lay down a marker just as much as the players.
You have to implement it at all levels.
Oh yeah, I mean, head injuries are so important at every level, and yeah, like I said, if the referee deemed that was high, then he's dead right to stamp his authority on the game to make sure that we don't see any more of them.
It's Quadja again. There's a knock on there.
Got to tidy up their execution there around the set piece. I think it was Danny Ruan with the knock on, and we've already seen his quality at the maul and the base of the scrum. So another little win for CBC Monkstown, and the more of them they can have of the period with a man in the bin is going to be really important.
I think it was their number 6, Liam Buckian, who went to the win. I just want to get it out of the scrum here. No messing. They look to play. Here they come.
Again, we're seeing the tactics from CBC Monkstown. They're looking to spread the ball wide, and then they're identifying the space in behind. Really nice play, lovely dummy line in midfield, and there you have the kick again, trying to expose the back three, and just a little sloppy knock on from the Castleknock fullback Ben Elliott, and this gives CBC Monkstown another good attacking opportunity, albeit they're a man down.
That's 2 or 3 times now it's went down Elliott's channel. You were talking about it earlier. Is that something they've highlighted during the week? It looks like it is.
Yeah, it looks like they have, all right, yeah. I mean, Elliott, you know, he's seen a lot of ball come his way, and he's just got to settle down. He probably needs a bit of help from his back three as well, and I know it's very noisy here at Energy Park, but I think communication is so important as well. You know, your back three, you've got to be all in sync together, and just a couple of errors when they creep in like that, it creates a little bit of a doubt, but still very early on in the game, and they've plenty of scope to just tidy it up and settle it down.
CBC, of course, still have the man in the bin, so they're doing quite well keeping the ball. It's 14 men.
Yeah, so I just see there they've moved Charlie Maher onto the blind side, so they're not actually playing with a number 8 here at the moment. Sometimes you might see teams opt to put a winger into the scrum, but not there on attack.
Rainey with another little kick in behind. This time he's taking care of it.
Touch judge has spotted something here as well.
Tempers are high. The emotions showing there.
Yeah. Right in front of the Monkstown supporters as well, who are loving it.
Getting rowdy, getting active.
Yeah. I don't think much ado about nothing, I think, though. Both captains, you'd imagine, probably get a bit of a talking to. But the touch judge had spotted something, so we'll have to wait and see here what it was. That was before it all kicked off. Here we go now, the ref and the touch judge are about to have a conversation.
It looked like just pushing and shoving now, didn't it?
Yeah, but the touch judge had spotted something before that. I think he saw a penalty infringement, so we'll see now what's happened. The pushing and shoving came after that.
I've been really impressed by Sam Graney so far too. He looks very alert, he looks like a very smart player who knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he's been really important. Like we said, they're looking to kick the ball in behind into that back three, and he's the one that they've been looking to do it. He's been really, really lively on the right wing, and if the CBC can get the ball into his hands more often, he looks like a guy who can make things happen. Pretty lengthy chat here, isn't it?
It's never a good sign. Do you reckon it could be 2 players going?
I don't think the handbags were much, to be honest. I think both captains are being called over. I wouldn't be surprised if the ref will just tell him to cut that sort of nonsense out. But I'd be curious to see what the final decision would be, because as I said, the touch judge had spotted something long before the handbags had kicked off.
As you said it, Chadwick is over there. So is Ormonde. Having a little word with the referee. Glenn Sheridan. He'll just be telling them to relax it, you'd imagine.
Yeah, you can see both captains are calling their teams in now, just telling them to calm it down a little bit.
How important is it that they channel those emotions in the right way?
Oh, it's so important. You see that at any level, like how costly yellow and red cards can be, and unfortunately they're becoming more of an influence in games, because you touched on it earlier, you know, head high tackles and high tackles, they just got to be stamped out of the game, so it can end up costing your team. But thankfully so far the yellow card for CBC Monkstown, you'd have to say, it hasn't really had a negative effect on them at all.
Well, they're in the corner, a few metres out.
If they could get a score while they have a man in the bin, that's a huge psychological advantage, I think, for them. Particularly when you look at Castleknock, you know, they would have looked at this period as a chance to kind of get back into the game and build a couple of scores with a man extra, but it hasn't happened.
Looks like a full line out.
Hooker can't take the line out without the ball though.
And they take it down. They go to the maul. The ball's wavering. And it looks like it's over. Do it alone.
That is a brilliant try. The amount of invention that they had in the line out there, it might look very straightforward, but it wasn't. There was plenty of moving parts, dummy jumpers, and they get it set up really well, just like Castleknock did earlier on in the game. And it's just pure power from the Monkstown pack. And it's worth reminding everyone for watching, this is a pack without their back row as well, so that is seriously impressive from the Monkstown pack.
Louis Cahill really stepped up there as well, took it in the middle of the line out, very secured, got the maul set up.
Yeah, really well drilled. You could tell that that's been something that they've been working on, and like I said, that was not a straightforward line out that they had there. They kept the Castleknock defence guessing, because we've seen already how dangerous Quaja is in the air, but he couldn't get near it, and over Monkstown go.
All while CBC still have 14 men. Quite get that one, so it's 10-5 to CBC Monkstown with little over 20 minutes gone in the game.
It's been a brilliant game, hasn't it? The skill level again on show. I've been really impressed with the skill level of the packs in particular. We've seen the power, but we've also seen, you know, little link passes, little tip-on passes. Really good stuff from both teams.
Who was that? The scrum half kicks it long. A tester for Castleknock. They deal with it well. Pause for offside there. The Castleknock fans.
Yeah, there is, but you can see CBC's tactics are not committing a huge amount of players to the ruck, which means that they've got most of their defenders on their feet, which that makes it obviously very difficult for the Castleknock defence to break down. And I think they just got a little bit impatient there, sloppy little knock-on, but that's, you know, we've spoken about it so often in the game, these little wins, but they're really starting to build up now for CBC Monkstown, who, to be fair, there's no sense of them just trying to see out that period. You know, they're back to 15 players now, but when they were down to 14, there was no sense of them trying to, you know, just hang on. They were actually looking to press home their advantage, which is, I think, shows serious mental strength from these young players.
And they're living on the edge as well on that defensive line. So some of the best teams do that. If we look at Saracens throughout the years, That's what made them so good.
Absolutely.
Here's Graney, and it's to the out half line. He kicks it. He's contesting that. He's taken out. But they'll get the line out anyway.
Once again, just seeing them target that space in behind, aren't we? It was a brilliant touch by Charlie Maher, who has been, you'd have to say, the best player in the pitch so far. He's had a big impact on both sides of the ball. But again, we're seeing Monkstown target that space on the right-hand side. And you asked me earlier if that's something that they've been working on. I think we can probably safely say now that it has really good skills. You know, you touched on Sam Graney earlier on as well. Beautiful offload there to release Charlie Maher. And that was just, I think, a sign again of how much these players have been working on their skills during the year.
Adrian Flavin is the director of rugby in Castleknock. What will he be? Will he change it up in any way?
I don't think so. I think he's just got to tell his players to calm down. We saw how good they were at the first few minutes of the game. They just got to get back to that.
And a really good line-out take there from CBC. And the ball's bouncing. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. The scrum half, O'Hanlon, saying he was taken out.
Once again though, look at the invention around this line out. It's really clever. See the peel around, they go for a dummy maul and they get Charlie Maher on the ball again. Really clever stuff. And you know, they're making it look easy, but you know, if professional teams are pulling this off, you know, you're thinking that the amount of work that they must put in. So for young guys in the biggest stage of their young careers, you'd have to say, to do that, it's just really impressive from a Monkstown point of view. They're keeping Castleknock guessing.
Their line-out and defence coach, Carl Miller, will be very happy with how things have gone so far.
Yeah, he might be in line for a bonus. He's been doing really well here. Stamp is all over the game.
CBC weren't even involved in the Senior Cup last season. Last time in 2020.
It's brilliant to see schools like this, isn't it, though, competing, and not just competing, but actually showing that they're more than capable of mixing it with the so-called bigger schools. It's been really impressive from them.
CBC have played a lot in the Vinnie Murray in recent years. The last time they won it was back in 2019. Of course, there's two other games happening today. Gonzaga versus St. Andrews, Ross Gray against CUS. We'll be bringing you the draw after the game.
There'll be plenty of focusing attention on that draw, won't there? Some all the big teams there. You know, a lot of them, you know, Blackrock made a real big statement earlier on in the week, and, you know, Michaels are in there.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Everyone's going to be hoping they just avoid Blackrock, I think.
Yeah, but, you know, I was here the other day, I was watching Newbridge College, and I don't think many teams are going to fancy playing them. I think Johnny Murphy's got the back line in particular really well drilled, so some big teams left. It's going to be fascinating to see the draw.
Here's Graney again. Is there a knock on there? Well, the referee says play on. And number 6 Gookie is back in the park as well. Balmain, the second row. Look at him go. CBC in a very good position here. From off O'Hanlon ordering his forwards around. Balmain again. Has he got it over? The referee says yeah. And it was Balmain who made that original break. And he finishes off the move by scoring the try.
That is a superb try. Wow. Rory Balmain, he actually started the move by throwing an unbelievable offload. Just, again, it's just worth highlighting the skills on show of these players, particularly from the pack. Then he got himself involved again, made the break, and there he's at the end of it to finish from close range. Really good stuff from CBC Monkstown again. And to be honest, Castleknock's defence is on their feet at the moment, and you can see the coaches on at the moment. They're under the post. They're having, I'd imagine, stern words to each other, because if they're not careful, this game could get away from them. It's been brilliant stuff from CBC Monkstown, who, let's remember, went 5-0 down very early on.
worth mentioning, they weren't exactly favourites for this game either.
No, every underdog has its day though, doesn't it? So they're certainly enjoying it so far. Isn't it, from a Castleknock point of view? Got to see who the big leaders are. Who are the ones doing the talking? You know, they're only 15-5 down, 27 minutes gone. There's still plenty of time to turn this around, but they've just got to get back into their groove. They've kind of lost their shape a little bit. You know, they've given away a couple of sloppy penalties, and that's all coming down to CBC Monkstown's pressure that they put on.
Well, ever since that first try, they haven't really had a whole lot of the ball.
They haven't had the ball, they haven't had territory, they found it really, really difficult. But again, that's all down to CBC Monkstown, who've really grown into this contest.
Just nothing's gone right for Castleknock.
No, it's really not. It's sloppy stuff. Like that'll be really frustrating, I think, from a coaching point of view. You know, you work hard all week, and I'm sure the players weren't making those kind of mistakes in training. But we've touched on it a couple of times, and it's worth mentioning again. This is a big occasion. It's the biggest occasion for most of these young players, young careers, and nerves do play a part in it, and we're seeing that already. You know, CBC Monkstown have certainly handled that side of the game better.
CBC Monkstown supporters were here nice and early, and they were very loud an hour before kick-off.
Yeah, they haven't let up. They were brilliant, bringing great colour as well as noise.
And here comes CBC, their 10 man. Very good so far. Balmain, the try scorer. Chadwick, the captain. Lovely hands.
Nice skills there, wasn't it? Again, you touched it there from Thomas Chadwick in midfield. I think himself and Rory Balmain, the two second rows for CBC Monkstown, have been really excellent in terms of, I think, setting the physical edge up front, but also mixing it really well with the skills. We've already seen Rory Balmain's try and the amount of involvements he's had in that, but I've been really impressed with the two of them. They're athletic, they're strong, they're physical, and they're really bringing the game to Castleknock.
And opting to go down that right hand side again.
Yeah, it's clearly a point that they've targeted, but you'd have to say Castleknock dealt with it far better this time.
Looks like Castleknock are making an early substitution. It's number 20, I think, that's come on.
Ben Foley gone off, yeah.
So Ormonde has entered the park. And here comes CBC Mahon with a lovely too much on that one.
Yeah, a little ambitious there, but you could see that his winger, Cal trainer Russell, was in space, and it just needed a little bit of composure there to throw the pass, and maybe the wind kind of picked it up as well. But again, we're seeing the intent from CBC Monkstown. Look at the lines of running that they have off the ball. It's really, really clever. They just look so well drilled. We focused on the pack a lot, but the backs as well. You know, obviously the pass didn't go astray there, but the shapes and the lines of running have been really, really encouraging.
Reliable second row. Now Castleknock getting some goal forward. Taggarts with the carry. And again,
yeah, big tackle from the CBC Monkstown loose head David McCaughren there. Superb. And he had one of his teammates coming in behind him for the double hit as well. But when you see your teammate making a tackle like that and someone else is following her up with the penalty, that's just infectious. That gives everyone a boost. It gives everyone energy. And again, it's all going CBC Monkstown's way. But just before it, we saw Dara Enright on the right wing making a big carry for Castleknock, and that's just something we haven't seen them do since they've scored their early try. So if they can get the likes of Enright involved, Danny Ruan, they can punch holes in this defence. But so far, Monkstown are coming up with all the answers.
First job is to find touch.
always a tricky kick, isn't it, from the middle of the pitch. You can never really get too much distance, and you're dead right. You got to just find the touch and go from there, and that's what he's done.
Interesting to see Castleknock making that substitution early on. Do you think it's tactical?
No, I think it was an injury actually. I think you could see Ben Foley was down injured. It looked like his ankle just before, I think, the third try. Like, he tried to run it off. Like we said, no player is going to want to come off this big day, but unfortunately he wasn't quite able to.
Chadwick and Balmain have been very good in the second row, as you said. The line-out didn't go the way they would have wanted. Mahon to the centre, Simon's down it, and now Castleknock look to be on the break. A clever kick by McIntyre. And chased hard by the right winger. He wants to, or the left winger, he wants to go. The referee says, or the linesman says, CBC line-out.
Yeah, rare mistake there from CBC Monkstown. They've been really clinical in what they've been doing with ball in hand, but it just shows how dangerous that Castleknock are in the counter-attack and transition. They did really, really well to capitalise on a knock-on, and now they find themselves back down in the CBC 22 for probably the first time, you have to say, since they scored the try, which is amazing to think, really, 2 minutes to go to half-time.
Alex Tilley was chasing that one hard as well.
Can't dummy throw, of course, after Lewin Maloney, a bit of an error there. You can't dummy throw, and that gives a scrum to Castleknock, which a minute and a half to go before the break. It gives them a really good opportunity to get back in the game here.
The score before half time is a massive momentum shifter. Yesterday Wesley scored just before half time. The score was 21, I think it was 21-14 going into half time. Wesley scored 2 more tries in the second half to lead 28-21 at one stage. They eventually lost 33-28, but that try before half time.
It just changes the team talk, doesn't it, from a coaching point of view. If you can get in, it just changes complexion. It gives everyone a little boost. So big moment here for CBC Monkstown to withstand this pressure.
Here comes Castleknock. Miowski with a big carry. He substitutes next. He tries to get the legs driving. Number 8, Ruan. He's taken well in the tackle. By the ankles. By Duckian. Oh, nearly juggled out of the field there. He's been one of the better players for Castleknock today so far.
Been really impressive, yeah.
Here comes the 10 with a nice little switch inside. The referee says we're going back.
Again, no, it's Castleknock working their way through the phases, and you're right, Wally Quasha has been really prominent. Everything that's been good about Castleknock, he seems to be in the middle of it, and their first little period of pressure now, and it looks like they're going to kick this ball, but actually not, they're going to go for a quick tap, so let's see if they've got any invention around it, which we've seen in the modern game so often now.
Flips it on. Forward. Connor looks eager to get in here. The ball's been spilled, and it's going to be a CBC scrum, and it's half time.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised there that they didn't go for the line out when you consider how successful it was for the maul try that they got early on, but that's a big win for CBC.
And it's 15-5 at half time, a scoreline that not many would have predicted.
CBC Monkstown full value for it though, you'd have to say.
Their coach, Stan McDowell, will be saying, same again, boys.
Absolutely.
We'll take a short break and we'll be back with you soon. And we're back for the second half. 15-5 to CBC Monkstown. Mahan to get us restarted. CBC blocked that one down, but Castleknock still have it. They go for the exit, and it's a good touch finder.
Yeah, very good kick after Danny Ruan had his kick charged down, so really important from the Castleknock point of view there that they found the safety of touch, and that was a superb distance in it, so brings them up to halfway.
You were talking in the first half about how impressed you were with the line out.
Yeah, really impressed, like just the variation and the invention that they've had around it. I think here, you just want to secure your ball, but when they've gotten into the Castleknock 22, they've really varied and changed things up, which keeps the Castleknock pack on its toes.
It's the captain, Chadwick.
Commentator's curse there.
There had to be one.
Yeah, there always is.
See, Wally Quadja had a massive first half. He's in there straight away, motivating the lads.
Yeah, they're getting him up in the air early on for all of the opposition throws. You can see he's got a superb spring in him, but he's also being helped by his lifters as well.
For Castleknock. Dara Enright with the carry. CBC trying to get in and disrupt that one. It looks like they have it. Again, the little things just not going the way of Castleknock so far. Carl Trainer Russell with the kick in behind. The right hand side again.
What a kick.
With the left hand side this time out.
Brilliant clearance kick. Yeah, once again we're seeing CBC Monkstown go after that space in the backfield, but that's far better dealt with from a Castleknock perspective. I'd imagine at half time Adrian Flavin and his fellow coaches would have been onto that, but like no space at all there to work with, and really finds a superb touch finder up the right hand side.
Carl Trainer Russell is another player I've been told that's on the Leinster radar. Didn't get much of the ball in the first half. Maybe we'll see more of him in the second.
No, yeah, and it was interesting to see Dara Enright, from Castleknock make another big carry. He made one in the first half as well. They really need to get him involved in on the ball more, because he looks like he can punch holes in defence.
Louis Cowell very assured in the line out again for CBC Monkstown. Just over halfway. Forwards take it up. Said I'm not waiting around, but the referee says come back here.
Yeah, I don't think his pack will be thanking him for that either. Look, they're 15-5 in front, CBC Monkstown.
Game management is really important.
It's just really important. It's still very early on in the second half, but they get a chance now to kick the ball down deep into the 22. So I think there's a time and a place for the quick tap, but when your pack is trying to catch their breath again, the last thing they want to be seeing when they look up and seeing their little scrum half making a break, but good to keep the defence honest at the same time.
Impressed by Roman Mahan, the CBC Monkstown 10 in the first half. He seems very composed, controls the attack well.
Yeah, he's been the fulcrum really, hasn't he? We've touched on kind of the lines of running that the Monkstown backline have been running, and he's been central to that.
Lewin Maloney has plenty of options in the line-out. Goes up for that one, but Castleknock managed to get a hand on it.
Excellent steal from Conan Lennon there.
They charge down, and here comes Castleknock.
The referee's already blown the whistle.
The referee's blowing the whistle. Castleknock, what a play. They're eager to peel back some of that deficit, but the referee says, "Hold on a sec, lads."
Yeah, look, we've given Wally Ikwaja a lot of credit for his line-out defence, but that time we saw Conan Lennon getting up and superbly stealing the ball for his Castleknock side. So little wins that maybe Castleknock are starting to get now that particularly in the second half of the first half, they were just on the wrong side of. So still deep inside their own half. So if they can get a clearance kick here, use the wind that's behind them, it will set them up nicely for an attack inside the Castleknock or the CBC 22.
I feel like Castleknock just need time on the ball. They need to get the phases in. They just need to get ball time really and just get comfortable having it, going a few phases, getting an attack going. That was kind of their problem in the first half.
Yeah, they were just forcing it a little bit, but that was when they could get the ball because they were starved of possession for most of it. And again, that was down to the CBC Monkstown pack, you'd have to say, up front, and the damage that they were causing. So I think it's important, you're dead right, when Castleknock get the ball, just kind of calm down, settle it, and do what they've been working hard on in training.
A big scrum from CBC there. Giving the shove on. All these little moments, wasting time, it's big for CBC Monkstown.
Yeah, they're playing the game in the right half of the pitch, that's for sure. Castleknock do have a bit of a breeze behind them, and we've seen it from a couple of kicks early on in the second half, so that could come into the equation as well. And you know, maybe that's why CBC Monkstown were so quick to go to the boot in the first half, looking at space in behind, because they knew that they had the win with them.
Get it out this time. What a good carry by McIntyre. The co-captain standing tall. Ruan maybe forced that a little bit.
Yeah, they just got a little bit disjointed. You can see they were in the shape, and Ruan threw the nice little link pass, but no one there to collect it, unfortunately, just not on the same wavelength. But it was a superb break from Peter McTaggart, like you said, really powerful. Could get him involved in the game more. We've seen it already, you know, we've touched on the couple of breaks that Dara Enright has had. We've seen it from Peter McTaggart there. They just need to get the ball into those guys' hands.
It's just about getting it past that kind of third or fourth phase, just building it up.
Yeah, you're right, they haven't been able to build through the phases at all, but I think we see it there again. It's just when you're forcing the issue, it's nerves. You want to make an impression on the big day, so it's understandable in a way, but you know, when the clock is ticking and it's not your friend, got to cut out those silly mistakes.
They won't panic yet though, still plenty of time on the clock.
Absolutely. We're seeing Camp already starting to come into the equation here, of course, you know, playing on a 4G surface here at Energia Park. It makes for a fast game, but it's tough on the legs as well, and I know a lot of these players will be used to playing on it, but when it's fast, when it's frenetic, when it's a senior cup game, you know, that comes into it at the end of the day as well. So fitness levels come the end of this are going to be really important too.
You're really put to the test.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I know all about it.
Crowd getting rowdy over there. Mainly Castleknock trying to put Maloney off. He'll have to try and block that one out.
Easier said than done, but yeah, big test for him here.
There you go. Again, a little mistake at the line out.
Yeah, just not straight again there, and I don't know if the wind is maybe a factor, but we praised the Monkstown line out so often in the first half, and maybe they just have to simplify it, look to go to the front and just make sure you win the ball, because it's too easy coughing up possession like that. You're just handing the initiative straight back to Castleknock.
Been very stop-start the second half so far.
Yeah, it's got no rhythm or no flow to it at all, but again, that suits CBC Monkstown down to the ground. You know, they've already caused damage on the scoreboard. They don't want to get complacent in any way, and I don't think they are, but they're still playing the game in the right half of the field from their perspective.
Donahue takes it out. A lovely loose step. Wisniewski. Castleknock going to the boot this time. CBC send it back through Elliott. Bit of kick tennis, and he took it to take a deflection on the way through.
Yeah, really good play there from Danny Killeen in the backfield. We've mentioned the wind. It's not easy for fullbacks there, but he took it really confidently and sent a really nice kick down the line. And again, yeah, it looks like it might have got a little nip on the way, so Monkstown will have the throw-in.
Killeen who took that kick, not Elliott.
Got to get this one right now.
Wally Quadra been instrumental in that line-out defence today for Castleknock.
Yeah, I think he's in their heads now at this stage. He's stolen so many balls, but really good play from Wally Quadra again.
Here comes O'Hanlon, the nippy little scrum half. Here's Marr. Looked like he was looking for the offload there. Temper's flaring again a little bit.
Yeah, it's silly from the CBC Monkstown point of view. It was Liam Quicken there throwing the ball into an opposition player's face, and he was already on a yellow card for the first half, so it's something we don't want to get involved in, something like that, particularly in, you know, such a big day. Your team is 15-5 up. It's just not worth getting involved at all. It was right in front of the assistant referee here, so it'll be interesting to see if he comes and has a word with the ref. You just got to cut out that. Discipline is so important at this stage.
Definitely something his coach will be talking to him after the game about.
Yeah, I'd imagine his captain needs to have a word in his ear as well. Look, there's just no need for doing that. No
Especially
need
when
at all.
you're in front.
Exactly, yeah. You just got to be cool. Keep your composure. You're in front, like you said. No need to be doing it. And there you go. You have a penalty now for that. I don't think it was anything more than that, but it just gives the referee another little tick into the back of his mind that if anything more silly like that, and Liam Quicken could be in trouble.
As you said, he's already got a yellow, so why take the risk?
Yeah, no need to take the risk at all.
The line-out battle has been fascinating today.
Yeah, it really has, yeah. We've mentioned him so many times, Wally Quadra on the opposition ball. Now Castleknock have their own ball, so you'd imagine.
Chadwick as well for CBC.
Superb.
And here's Quadra again. You can count the certainties in life, but Quadra taking that line-out ball seems to be one. And a very good platform there from Castleknock.
Yeah, Thomas Chadwick there penalised for pulling down the maul, which had got moving. I think, you know, CBC Monkstown looked like they didn't want to engage in the maul initially, but then after Wally Quadra got the ball, they marched him backwards. So this is exactly what Castleknock want, and now it's going to be CBC Monkstown's character who's going to be tested here.
These are the big moments we were talking about. Get the ball to Peter McIntyre, did think though as well, for Castleknock in the middle of the park.
Yeah, Wisniewski as well has made a big carry a few minutes ago, so got to get your centres involved for sure.
Nathan Ocampo has come onto the field.
Charlie Marr who's gone off. That's a big loss, I think, for CBC Monkstown. He's been instrumental in all their positive play, so don't know if it's an injury or not. I think he was maybe one of the guys who was down struggling with cramp there a few minutes ago, but that's a big loss. He's been instrumental in everything they've done today.
Well, you'd have to assume it's an injury because he's not the type of player you'd want to be taken off or even thinking about taking off.
No, for sure.
But again, we're stopping again. It just feels like there is no real flow to the second half.
Yeah, I think with that change now, we're after seeing Liam Quicken has gone to number 8. He's going to pack down at the base of the scrum, and Nathan Ocampo has gone onto the blind side instead.
And it looks like Castleknock have done it against the head. What can they do here? Trying to work their way into that 22. And they get the penalty. Go to the corner, would you think?
Yeah, I reckon so. I'm surprised, you know, we touched on it just before the break that they took the 5 metre tap penalty because their maul had worked so well for that opening try that Danny Ruan, which seems like a long time ago now, but yeah, they're going to go for the maul here again if they can win the line out, and we've spoken about how good the Castleknock defensive line out has been. Now you need to see something from Thomas Clarkson and Rory Balmain, just like Wally Kwaja has been doing throughout the whole game.
And it is, well, that one slipped through Cork's fingertips though. And if you had to pick one line out that he'd want to get right all day, that was probably the one.
Yeah, really unfortunate there. You would have put your house on him securing that ball, so it's another big win for Monkstown, but you see
Commentator's curse again. I said certainty earlier on.
At least one, that'll be the end of them now, hopefully. But we're seeing the strength of the wind there again. You know, Monkstown trying to clear their lines, and while it was a good kick, doesn't get too much further than outside the 22. So while Castleknock will be disappointed that they lost that last line out, they have a chance to make amends here, albeit it's not quite as close to the try line as they would have had it for the first line out. Wally Kwaja down getting treatment there. He's another guy certainly Castleknock can't afford to lose.
I'd argue that he's been their standout player today.
Yeah, he's been very good. I think he'll be disappointed that he didn't quite take that last line out, but like I said, if he can shake off this knock, they have another, his side have another line out that he can immediately make amends.
Well, the big thing in rugby is when you make a mistake, you just have to next phase and move on. That'll be what Wally Kwaja is thinking.
Andy Farrell and the Ireland team are big on that. Next past focus is what they always tell us, so I'm sure that filters down to the schools game as well. Make a mistake, but you don't compound it by making another one.
Errors are bound to happen, but it's how you react to them, I suppose.
And there you go, they nailed that one, which is a really good line out, so quickly put that previous mistake out of their head.
And Lavelle has it at the back. And it's edging forward. Getting into that 22. Still going. It's not stopping. But now it's going to be taken out. Lovely bit of play from Castleknock here. Giving that back line a chance. Wisniewski. They're a few meters out now. Back rower takes it next. Ruan, the big number 8. The tight head with the carry there. O'Connor. And they're in. And it's that man we were talking about earlier, McIntyre.
Yeah, pressure eventually tells there. Castleknock finally, you know, we've been speaking about it throughout this game that they just haven't been able to build through the phases, but we spoke about not backing up a mistake from the line-out that they had. Wally Kwaja wins it, they set up the maul stops, and then the backs get involved, and finally they showed a clinical touch, and I think we all knew that they were well capable of. It's just deserted to them, unfortunately, up to this point, but they show there how dangerous they are. Lovely little play there from Ross O'Connor, the out half, who puts Peter McIntyre over. Really well worked score from Castleknock, who are right back in the game now.
And an easier conversion as well. These are where the try was scored.
We haven't seen any of the tries converted so far. I think that's more down to the wind than maybe nerves than anything else, but this is a good chance for Wisniewski to cut it down to a 3-point game. Seen cramp again here now.
Is it one-score game as well?
Yeah, Danny Ruan is it down with cramp, so players are really starting to feel the intensity of the game because it's been fast and it's been frenetic since the get-go.
That Castleknock were going to respond though at some stage.
Yeah, and now it's all about how CBC Monkstown respond to this setback. They've been really good up to this point, but Castleknock looks like potentially they might have a second wind here.
Cian, I know you were having a look at the the live score lines of the other two games?
It was indeed. There was a big Gonzaga were winning strong at half-time. Give an update here now. It was Gonzaga 35, St. Andrews 5 at half-time, which is some scoreline you'd have to say. And Ross Gray were losing 10-12 to CUS. So plenty still to play for in all three games.
Over it goes, and it's a 3-point game.
Yeah, it's actually full time in the Gonzaga game, and that finished 64-15, which is an incredible scoreline from a Gonzaga's perspective to run up. So big statement. They booked their place in the draw that we're going to have coming up after this. So the question is, who's going to join them, CBC or Castleknock? It's hard to call at this stage.
Still a long time to play. 16 minutes about, according to our clock. Second row, Boyle. With the carry. Dowling, Whitehead. Here comes CBC. They look like they're away. Getting his wheels rolling. It's a bit scrappy, but CBC get the penalty.
Yeah, great break there from Mahan. Saw the space open up in front of him, and I think there was a couple of forwards there who may be struggling with a bit of cramp, and then he ended up unfortunately losing his footing at the crucial stage. But Castleknock conceded the penalty, and that's not what they wanted after getting themselves back into the game. They wanted to go build pressure down the other end of the pitch, but this gives CBC Monkstown a chance to hit back. I'm sure they're going to kick it into the corner here.
A few players going down now with cramps, and that's just telling the story of the game, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. We've touched on it. You know, it's been a fast game. We're seeing a couple of changes starting to happen now. Max Kennedy has come on for Castleknock, but yeah, look, I mean, you know, it's very different to play it on a grass pitch, play it on a 4G pitch. It's much tougher on the limbs, particularly the lower limbs, as we're seeing now. So it's no surprise that these guys are obviously super fit, but when it comes to cup rugby, it's fast, it's frenetic, but it also takes a lot out of you mentally as well. So both teams are really handling themselves well so far.
Well, they will have 3 weeks, or a little under 3 weeks, to prepare for the next round, whoever wins this game, as the midterm break means that the next round of fixtures will start on the week of the 20th of February.
Interesting decision here. CBC are actually going to go for the post. It's an extremely long kick, 40 metres out into a breeze as well, but obviously Ronan Mahan fancies his chances, and I'm surprised they're not going to the corner here, but if he knocks this over, it'll prove to be a really, really good decision.
He backs himself.
Yeah, which you like to see, especially from a young 10. You know, he's the one who's dictating the tempo, and if he was to knock this over, what a boost it would give to his teammates.
Could it be a decision they regret later on? That's a rocky year's play here. Don't mess around.
Deliberate knock on there, I think the referee has given, but a really good carry there from Billy Dowding. But yeah, I think it was a strange decision, to be honest, from Ronan Mahan. I think if you had Johnny Sexton standing over that kick, you know, it would have been tough for him. So I think they just need to focus on what they were doing. We've already credited how good the line out has been. Stick it down into the Castleknock 22 and let the pack do the work, because they've been doing it so well in the first half. And again, this is where you want to see cool heads, isn't it?
Distance on this one. Three points in it. 13 minutes to play.
Perfectly poised, isn't it? It's been another cracking advert, you'd have to say, for Leinster Schools Rugby. I think it's been the same all week. The quality on show has just been outstanding. It really bodes well for the future of Irish rugby.
but again, not straight, says the referee.
Yeah, it's been a bit of feature of the game, hasn't it? A lot of line-outs not going straight, and again, I don't know if the wind is having an impact on that. I'm sure both hookers will tell us it absolutely is, but you just got to nail that set piece. It's too easy to hand the initiative back to the opposition.
Cian O'Donnell coming onto the pitch for CBC Monkstown.
Another change in the back row there, so they've got a very new look back row from what they've started, but the benches are going to have a big impact to play here. We've seen guys go down with cramp, and bringing those fresh legs on, I think whichever bench has the bigger impact is going to probably end up winning the game here.
Eddie Jones was a big believer in the finishers.
Yeah, I see Steve Borthwick has gotten rid of that now. They're called the replacements again, like they should be. Brilliant play there from Conan Lennon. Put himself in the jackal position, really tough to shift him, and he wins a really important turnover at a crucial stage of the game for his team. You see it here again now, watching Marchie's back in over the ball. Superb poach, look at that. Two players trying to shift him off the ball, but he wins the poach. Really, really good play from, it's what you want to see from your open side, isn't it?
I think he spotted that O'Hanlon was a little bit isolated, and he got in straight away and made sure he got the poach.
Absolutely, still very difficult skill to do, and it takes a lot of bravery as well, you have to say, to put your body into that position when opposition clear outs are coming in and trying to remove you off the ball. So really good play there from Conan Lennon.
I just feel like Castleknock are growing more and more into the game now.
They've taken a lot of heart, I think, from that try that they've scored, and the fact that it was converted as well. So, like I said, 10 minutes left here, and it's perfectly poised.
What's your feeling for the big game tomorrow?
It's hard to call. Ireland's record going to Cardiff is not that good, as we know. I think 2013 was the last time they won in the Six Nations, but look, they're in a very good place. Wales are obviously rebuilding under Warren Gatland, so you'd imagine Ireland will be favourites, but it's going to be very tough. It always is to get a win over in the Principality Stadium under the roof, but I still fancy Ireland. Turnover. We've highlighted the CBC Monkstown loss throughout this game. Thomas Chadwick and Rory Balmain, they've been really, really good, and the captain there plays a captain's role.
You said earlier, your big leaders have to step up in these moments, and Chadwick did exactly that. Yeah,
and like your teammates feed off that as well. When they see their captain stepping up and leading by example, it's such a crucial stage of the game. That gives confidence to everyone else as well, that they're going to perform their role. So that's a big win there from a CBC point of view.
Again, it looks like the scrum on the way Castleknock. Here they come, McIntaggarts. Tilly. Castleknock will be looking to do damage here. Doesn't know the time to let that little tip on. Maybe forcing it again a little bit.
Yeah, big let off there, particularly because the pack did really well to win the scrum against the head. I'm not quite sure what happened. The ball seemed to be thrown in and it came straight back out the Castleknock side rather than the CBC side. But yeah, I think you're right, just forcing it a little bit hesitant. But I mean, when there's 8 minutes left in a senior cup game and you're 3 points down, it's understandable that you're going to be a little bit anxious. But this is the time where it calls for cool heads, and so far CBC are hanging on.
Well, CBC need cool heads for this scrum. They don't want a repeat of the one that just happened. They need to make sure they secure possession.
Yeah, like the ball came out as quickly as it went in. It was really strange, actually.
Just kind of squirted out.
Squirted out, yeah. So I think they're a bit of a mix-up maybe in communication with how quickly the scrum half Owen O'Hanlon put the ball in. So yeah, they just got to tidy up that, because you just can't afford to give this Castleknock pack, particularly with someone like Danny Ruan at the base of the scrum, an easy platform into the game.
Especially where they are on the pitch as well. Ross O'Connor has left us.
He won't be too happy going off there, his last contribution with a knock-on, but he's had a good game overall. I'm sure he'll be disappointed that that was his last act, but he'll hope that his teammates can get the job done with him off the pitch and give him another shot the next day.
It's interesting that there's been quite a number of stoppages. What might the referee? You could have a different time to the one we have potentially.
Yeah, well, hopefully the timekeepers here are doing their job. I've no doubt they are. But yeah, I think to the ref's credit, give the ref a bit of credit there. I think there was a bit of blood. We saw a burn, I think a cut from the surface again. It's worth mentioning. So, well, it's interesting to see how Castleknock go with Ross O'Connor off the pitch now.
A better scrum from CBC. O'Hanlon. It's a little break. Getting CBC to go forward. Balmain, the influential second row. O'Hanlon goes to the box kick. Sticks it up in the air. Where's it gonna land? It looks like CBC still have. Great game management by the number 9 O'Hanlon there with the little break and then the really smart box kick.
Yeah, I think that was maybe the first box kick we've seen all game, certainly as a contestable, and it really worked out well there. Sam Graney did brilliantly to reclaim the ball and then win the penalty. And Sam Graney was a guy who I think we highlighted on several occasions in the first half, but the ball just hasn't been played out on that right side of the pitch at all here in the second half. So we've seen how dangerous he can be. Superb aerial work there. So it gives CBC Monkstown a chance to kick the ball deep into the Castleknock 22.
A brilliant kick. A really good position.
Yeah, it's always handy to have the left footer for that side of the pitch, and they made full use of that by getting the maximum out of it. So big chance here for the CBC Monkstown pack.
Looks like Rob Nyland back in.
Yeah, I think both coaches are looking towards the bench now. We're at that stage where fresh legs are absolutely crucial.
Christopher O'Toole is coming for CBC Monkstown as well. Balmain goes up for it. Here comes the ball. It's twisting, still going. They're trying to squeeze over. It's out. It looks like that Castleknock in the closes under it, but can be sure.
Well, what a big moment that is. CBC Monkstown superb. They get the line-out ball marching towards the line, and it looks like the Castleknock pack just pulled it down, even though they broke at the end, and Wizzy actually looked like he'd held them up, but the referee sees it differently, and he judges that the Castleknock pack had pulled down the initial maul in an automatic 7-pointer at this stage of the game. What a score from CBC Monkstown.
And making it a 10-point game. O'Hanlon, the scrum half, kicks it away.
He did really well there, but I think his coach and his teammates would have preferred if he had called for the mark, give his team a little bit of a breather. But I suppose as all good scrum halves, he spotted the space, went for it. But now Castleknock are going to have a line out inside the Monkstown 22.
Do you think the referee made the right call in awarding the penalty try?
I think we did, yeah. I mean, we see it too often at all levels of the game, you know, people pulling down, opposition teams pulling down the maul when the attacking team was going towards the line, and there was no doubt at all that the Monkstown pack was marching Castleknock back over the line, and when you cynically pull it down like that, I don't think you give the referee any choice at all, to be honest. And to be fair, there weren't too many complaints from a Castleknock player perspective either. I think they felt the pressure was coming, and they felt like they had no choice but to pull it down. So sometimes referees will give you a second shot at that, but the referee's been decisive here, and CBC Monkstown are the benefit of it.
Balmain influential in that try again. What can Castleknock do here? Roger has the scrum cap off. The line stops right. And just those key moments of not going the way of Castleknock.
Yeah, you're starting to feel it slightly slip away here from a Castleknock perspective. Once again, you know, an error at the line out, and it's been funny, like the line-outs when they've worked have been so effective, as we just saw there from the penalty try, but when they haven't, there's just been far too many throws that haven't been gone straight, and that's so frustrating from a coaching point of view, because like I said, I'm sure when both these teams are training behind the scenes, you know, they're nailing all their throws, but again, on the big day, nerves play a funny part, don't it?
I'm thinking to the 10 supporters that were here an hour early from CBC and how loud they were before the game had even started. Imagine what they'll be like if they win this game.
It'd be a huge upset, really would, and so far they're full value for it. I mean, it's going to take something special from a Castleknock perspective to pull this out of the fire. I still think they are capable. There's still no time, I don't think, for CBC to get complacent. They've just got to, like you pointed out earlier, game management is so important, and they just got to see this game out now.
I'm really impressed by the scrum half. Owen O'Hanlon, I think he's been very good in the last 10 minutes or so. Castleknock, another attacking opportunity here. Or CBC, sorry, with the line out. The referee's hand was, the linesman's hand was confusing me there.
No, you are right. You were right. It was a Castleknock line-out.
I was doubting myself there.
Yeah, it wasn't a penalty. I'm surprised that the Castleknock players didn't pick up on it either. You know, they got to keep their heads in the game here. Because the CBC, you got to be clued in. Yeah, thankfully our commentator here, you were very clued in, but because it wasn't a penalty.
Reach that one. Another city penalty to give away.
Yeah, absolutely. Line-out malfunctioning again, and we've seen, you know, how costly it is, and yeah, like, that just gives the momentum straight back to CBC Monkstown, who just got to take their time now and see this game out.
Balmain getting very brave, very excited in the celebration there, getting right in the faces of the Castleknock players.
Yeah, you don't really like to see that either, you know, you got to show a bit of class as well, and CBC Monkstown are full value for their lead, and we mentioned it earlier, you know, you just got to, don't get involved in anything stupid, don't give the referee an opportunity to make a decision against you.
It is Balmain who goes up, and as simple as you like, he gives it to his scrum half. CBC will just want to hold on to this ball, not give Castleknock any opportunities. 13 and 12. Simon's Nolan. Castleknock trying to get up fast and defend. And they manage to force a knock on, and they'll get a scrum. I wonder how much time's left.
Yeah, we couldn't be too much, but yeah, that's sloppy from a CBC Monkstown perspective. There's no need to be throwing the ball out wide. What you want there is your pack picking and going, running the clock down, and not giving Castleknock a sniff at getting back into this game. And as it is now, a scrum from the centre of the pitch that gives them a chance to attack from both sides. All these resets and all this time it takes is perfectly playing into CBC Monkstown hands now.
And in it goes. What can Castleknock do? McIntaggart, try scorer earlier on.
They just haven't got him involved enough, have they?
CBC have managed to get it through their hooker Maloney. Just keep ball here will be the call. Run down the clock, whatever's left, but they want to play. Now trainer Russell. Hanlon says no more, I'll kick it out. And what a win for CBC Monkstown, 22-12 over Castleknock.
Unbelievable, and look at the scenes here. It's kind of fitting that the game ends where they're right in front of their supporters who are going mad, and you touched on it already. They've been here since early on today. They've been making plenty of noise, bringing plenty of colour, and this is a huge upset, you'd have to say, in the Leinster School Senior Cup, but absolutely fully deserved from the CBC Monkstown point of view. Just too many errors on the day from St. Vincents, Castleknock College. They'll have huge regrets, but CBC Monkstown march on.
No matter what happens from here for CBC Monkstown, it's a day these lads will remember for the rest of their life.
Absolutely, and they've got nothing to lose now. They're going to look forward to the draw that's coming up, and you know, they'll fancy taking anyone on. You know, this was their big day, and now they have a chance to back it up. It's supposed to have been a great day for the school, real proud day. We touched on it earlier, the more schools that you have competing, we all know who the bigger ones are, you know, we're going to see them in the draw, but the more schools that we see shaking up that order, I think it's hugely encouraging.
St. Michael's beat Belvedere College 19-5 on Sunday. Blackrock were comfortable winners against Presbray. And news just coming into us that Ross Gray have booked their place in the last 8 with a 29-17 victory over CUS.
Yeah, the draw is going to be fascinating, isn't there? A lot of big teams, obviously. You know, CBC Monkstown will be the underdogs, but like the way they played today, they can go into the draw and go into the quarter-final full of confidence. They have full value for their win today.
Well, just enjoy the moment.
Absolutely, yeah, and they're clearly doing that in front of their supporters. We touched on how big of a day it is for the school, and everyone is certainly enjoying it here.
A great day for their families as well.
Absolutely, the families, the teachers, all the mums and dads and whoever else is driving these lads to school every day, to training, you know, up early in the morning to get to training, in the evenings. It's just brilliant, yeah, and hopefully they enjoy it, but they're going to have to quickly knock it down and get back to it, because they're going to have a game in a few weeks to look forward to.
And it looks like we're about to get ready for the draw. GM. CBC celebrations. And look at the passion.
Yeah. Brilliant.
See both sides of schools rugby here though. CBC celebrating, and on the other side you've got Castleknock who will be bitterly disappointed, and that's just the way sport is and the way it goes.
And I think, you know, to be fair, at the end, you know, everyone shook hands, there was no animosity or anything like that, and that's what you want to see. There was a nice bit of giggle throughout the game, but it was played in the right spirit, and yeah, Monkstown are certainly enjoying their moment.
Conor Montaigne,
hello
for the draw.
and welcome to Energy Park. We'll now do the draw for the Bank of Ireland quarter-final for the week starting the 20th of February. Okay, Phil Ball and Kevin Quinn will do the draw today after a fantastic match, and let's see who's in the next round. Phil to draw first.
Phil Lawler, head of rugby development, and Kevin Quinn, head of commercial and marketing.
Newbridge College,
Newbridge College first out. Paddy Taylor, their number 12, looked very good in the game against Kenny earlier in the week.
Versus CBC Monkstown.
It's the men of the hour, CBC Monkstown. They'll face Johnny Murphy's Newbridge College in the next round. That round starting on the 20th of
St.
February.
Mary's College.
St. Mary's College winners yesterday against Wesley College, 33-28. Who will they face?
Versus Gonzaga College.
Gonzaga and Mary's will face off.
St. Michael's College.
St. Michael's College, Blackrock still in the draw, remember? Could it be the big one? Just struggling to get it open there, but now we have it. Who is it?
Versus Clongowes Wood College.
But it'll be St. Michael's versus Clongowes.
Blackrock College.
The 70 times champions Blackrock College.
Versus Cistercian College Rossgrey.
We'll play Rossgrey, a big
All
ask for
matches will be
Rossgrey.
played on the 20th of February. Thank you for today and safe home.
So, just to recap on the draw there, Newbridge College will play CBC, St. Mary's will play Gonzaga in what should be a very interesting encounter. Two very capable schools. St. Michael's versus Clongowes should be an attritional affair, two great forward packs. And Blackrock against Rossgrey, a tough ask for Rossgrey, we'd have to say.
Yeah, it is, but I mean, anything can happen in the last stage, and you know, everyone is there on merit now. And I suppose you look at the Marys and Gonzaga game, two teams who racked up big scores in their first round games. I was really impressed with Johnny Murphy's Newbridge here the other day. I was really impressed here today with CBC Monkstown, so that's one definitely to look forward to. Michaels and Clongowes, yeah, two heavyweight packs, like you said. They won't fear each other at all. And Blackrock Rossgrey, and yeah, while it might be a tough ask for Rossgrey, we've seen it here today. We've seen an upset. Anything can happen, and when it gets down to the last stage, the margin for error is even more slim. So 4 brilliant games to look forward to.
Absolutely. But it's been great to be watching these games and providing the stream. Thanks to VOTN, and thanks for joining me today, Cian. I hope you enjoyed the game.
Thanks, it was a pleasure.
And thanks to all our viewers. That's it from us. Have a good one.